I trust everyone on my team, and I also trust every new hire. I do think, this is the first thing that it's a must-have. You need to trust. You see that you will benefit from it, because that it's not only that you're more productive. It's also that kind of flexibility that helps me manage my day or my life, with that child. And there are other situations where you need that as well. So it's just beneficial for so many things. So.
In today's video, we're going to sit down and talk with Sandro, who's Director of Marketing for Eventbrite here in Berlin. He's worked for Eventbrite for over 4 years, and he has a whole team of people under him. So he's the one who signs off for people to work remotely. And I want to ask him, what makes him trust someone in order to let them work remotely? And also, what systems do they have in place here at Eventbrite in order to make it possible? Let's dive right into the episode to answer these questions. Before we get started, we just want to give a shout out to Office R&D, who is our sponsor on today's episode. They are a co-working management software company that helps workspaces around the world deliver better experiences to their customers. They share our values of promoting and championing remote work, and they've been our biggest supporters since day one. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so we are so excited to be here at Eventbrite. And Sandro, can you tell us a little bit more about what you do here and if you yourself work remotely?
Yeah, sure. I run the marketing team here in Berlin for Eventbrite. I'm with the company for almost 4.5 years now already. So I was hired to build the team.
Nice.
I was the first one on the ground. And yes, I do work remotely. I use remote work actually as almost like a productivity tool for me. When I need to get stuff done, when I really need to focus on strategy or something like that, then I do work remotely. And I have a child now.
Yeah. Nice.
And he's 1.5 years old. And that's I actually need to work sometimes from home as well, because my wife's working as well, and so the kind of flexibility helps me to manage everything.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that and how it can help also families and just flexible life. I think that's what remote work is about. And then what about you have a team, right?
Yeah.
So you let them work remotely, or
Absolutely.
not you let, but you have a system where they can also work remotely. Right?
Absolutely. I actually encourage them to do that.
Really?
Yeah.
So tell me more about that.
Well, first of all, I see myself how it helps me to focus, to work on strategic tasks, and I know that my team are in the same situations as well. So I encourage them to work from home, not only when they get a new couch delivered, but really use it almost strategically. And I strongly believe that it helps us to be more efficient as a team. I mean, we're working with video conferencing tools anyway, so it doesn't have any negative impact on how we work together as a team.
That's amazing. So I think a lot of companies want to adopt remote work programs, but they're worried about two things. One is the systems, and the other one is whether their team is going to be productive. So kind of trust. Can they trust their employees? So how do you handle the systems and the trust?
Yeah. So the systems are in place. We have the technology and the hardware to do that. Every room here has, a video conferencing tool, and we have the technology in place. So that's all given, and that's great. And then the second point is obviously really important, trust. I trust everyone on my team, and I also trust every new hire. I do think, this is the first thing that it's a must-have. You need to trust. If you don't trust then something else is, broken in that kind of relationship. And therefore, make sure that, you have that check mark next to trust, and then you see that you will benefit from it, because that it's not only that you're more productive. It's also that kind of flexibility that helps me manage my day or my life, with that child. And there are other situations where you need that as well. So it's just it's just beneficial for so many things.
So it sounds like you're saying you give them the trust at the beginning.
Absolutely.
Because so many companies do this where they're like, you can be here for a year, we'll watch you, we earn the trust. So tell me, why do you give that right away? Like what is the benefit of that?
So first of all, I think it's just, a mindset thing. When I hire someone, I do so because I think, this person is a great addition to the team, and I will trust them. And I actually think, there's not something like, hey, work for us a year and prove me that I can trust you. It should be the other way around. I trust you because I hire you, I believe in you, and I actually, I don't know, I don't want to say I'm lucky, because I think it's more common that you don't see that your trust is kind of, not working out for you.
So it works.
It works, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's also, I think, I want that myself. I want my boss to trust me as well, and I know how how great that feeling is when you feel that you're trusted.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, do you think that this helps you get better talent in to your team?
Oh yeah, especially in Berlin. Let's be honest. I mean, this is something that gets more and more common. At least on the paper. That's what companies say that they actually do it. How it then works out in real life or in day-to-day business is something else maybe. But I do think it's almost like a requirement now
to have remote work options.
Exactly, flexible working hours, remote work. You should offer it. I just think I hear from a lot of like my friends and former colleagues that in the day-to-day work, it's not it's not really working out anymore. But I do think everything we're seeing here, it's everyone should allow that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So do you feel like remote work is going to be the future of our work environment?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it should be. To be honest, I don't know how the extreme of it. This is something that can be interesting, definitely. But I do see that it must be that it's really something that helps you be more efficient, and also I think employee satisfaction goes up.
Yeah.
So from a company perspective and from a management perspective, it's something that helps me have a better results and a more satisfied team. And as an employee myself, I think it's almost for me a requirement that I am allowed to do that. Managing job and family and everything else.
Perfect. That's amazing. Thank you so much for letting us interview you, and we support what you guys are doing here.
Great.
I think it's awesome.
Cool.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for coming over.
Yeah, thanks. That was awesome speaking with Sandro. I love that he gives his trust first to his employees and lets them work remotely. I really think that this is the future. Having remote work as a package where you step into the office and you already have the option to work from home, even if it's a couple days a week or maybe 1 week a year where you go work remotely away from the office. All of these things are possible, and they're proving it here at Eventbrite that it works and that their employees are productive. So I loved speaking to him, and I hope you enjoyed the episode as much as I did. Hit like at the bottom of the screen, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time. Bye guys.